Here are 5 reasons why this RAZER NAGA X mouse makes me a better musician and a better producer in general. First, let me give some more background on what this title actually means. Becoming a better musician and a better music producer requires finishing projects, and the way that you finish projects is that you simply make the projects, export them, and call it a day. So essentially, the faster you can work and the better and more efficient your workflow is, the faster it will be that you will get better. So that's kind of the whole idea. I'm gonna be saying a lot of things in this video, which I know that you guys are gonna be like,
hey, but there's also Corsair and all these other brands and even other Razer mouses that do this.
yeah, but this one is special. I'm gonna give you guys context to all of that. Also, let me say this video is not sponsored. I do not have anything to do with the Razer brand. I wish I had something to do with the Razer brand, but that's not the case. I don't have any sponsorship whatsoever. And yeah, there's also one con that I'm gonna be discussing. So it's not like a all, you know, I don't know how to say that, like all, it's not all rose, or I don't know, some kind of expression like that. Assuming you're watching this video all the way up to this point, you're gonna like it and you're interested, so maybe click the like button, and now I can finally throw this in the trash. So let me take you back to the time leading up to buying this Razer mouse. I was thinking, we are all working using keyboard shortcuts. A child types with 2 fingers, you know, but that's not efficient. So every normal human being types with 8 fingers or 10 fingers, you know, that's more efficient. Us creatives were mostly working with 1 hand on the keyboard and 1 hand on the mouse. And I was thinking, on the mouse we don't do that. We only use 2 fingers, like most people use 2 fingers. I use 3 fingers because I keep my middle finger always on the scroller wheel. But I was thinking, we also have that thumb that is not doing anything. So I was looking through on the web for mouses that had extreme macro options and extreme customizations options. I came across this RAZER NAGA X mouse and I was immediately sold. Also, the price quality wasn't too bad. It was $70. I guess you could say that that's expensive, but it's not expensive, and I'm gonna explain why. So that's kind of, you know, the context behind how I came across this RAZER NAGA X mouse. Now, the first reason that this mouse is actually the best choice you can make as a musician is because you get this RAZER Synapse app. I know you guys are gonna say what I already explained, like other brands have this too, yeah, but it's not like as accessible and as good as the Razer Synapse software. Let me tell you why. You can sign up all these macros, like for instance on the side I can choose whatever this button would do. So you click on the button, and then you can go to a keyboard recording, keyboard function. Let's say I want to you know, map Control W. You press Control W, yeah, Control W, and you press save. Now that macro is assigned, and that button on that mouse will just activate that keyboard shortcut in like a matter of milliseconds. But here's like the first big difference between Razer and other brands. Even on apps where keyboard shortcuts aren't supported, you can still use, like for instance, paste, copy. You can use all of those functions with this little icon right here. So in the Razer Synapse app, you can choose close app. Even if the app doesn't support the use of Control Q, which is the quit or exit command, it's still gonna close that app, or with copy and paste, just the same thing. So that's also another epic thing. But yeah, I think other brands might have this too, but other brands, I'm sure, do not have this function right here. So if you go over to the Connect tab, then you'll find this Use Sync option. What this option is, it gives you the ability to synchronize your lights of your mouse and other Razer hardware you might have with your lights. Now, I have Philips Hue lights, which the Use Sync is the synchronization software for those lights. So if I wanted to, I could make this like a crazy RGB setup. Now, I'm not one of those people. I like to keep it, you know, real practical, real functional. So I don't use this, but I know there's a lot of people out there that really want to get everything synced and beautiful and easy accessible to change their lights. Well, you get this with Razer and it's perfect. Also, another function that is very, very unique to Razer is the Razer Hypershift function. What this does is you assign basically this function to whatever button you want on the mouse, and if you press that button, then it will multiply all of the possible macros that you can click on your mouse. For instance, on the side, look at when I would press scroll click, which is Razer Hypershift in my mouse, I would get this, boom, all the other shortcuts. Now, I have a very huge shortcut vocabulary, so this is very handy for me. I know this might be over the top for some people, but Look, man, if you can do all these things with just while your left hand is still staying on the keyboard, if you can all these things with one hand, it speeds up your workflow. Now I'm going to demonstrate how this could save you an enormous amount of time. Now let's say that you're having a usual project. What you'll do is you'll press Control Shift T, and then you'll select all of this area which you want to make MIDI region of, and you'll press Control Shift M. Every control I did were 3 keys. Also, every shortcut I did, I had to bring my right hand over from my mouse to the keyboard. And now I'm gonna show you how I would do this. So let's go ahead. I just have one button for this. Boom and boom. That was it. I didn't even leave the mouse. Now, I guess you can see like how this could save you an enormous amount of time. Like, let's say that every step is, let's say, a half a second. I think that's pretty realistic if especially if you're in the beginning and you're still learning shortcuts. So let's grab the calculator. I'm really curious on how this will turn out. Now, I have about 1,000 beats. I do this about, let's say, 10 times per project. So that's 10,000. So times 10,000. Let's get. Boom. Now let's divide that by 2. So I guess you could say that this is 50,000 seconds of work, right? Now, let's see how I did this with my macros and my mouse. So that's only one step because I pressed the Control Shift T macro and I pressed the Control Shift M macro. Those are just 2 steps, literally 2 steps. So you can already see, right? What's the big difference? 2 times 10,000 because I did this about 10,000 times in my life. That's 20,000, my people. So let's recap. That's the difference between people working with macros on their mice and not using macros on their mice. So I guess you can see like what's going on right here, right? And by the way, all this functionality works with a MIDI file too. Like I'm gonna drag that file in. I'm gonna choose a MIDI file from the Hefe Sway 3 in a Coupe 808 pack. Let's click this one. Ooh, that's a weird 808 pattern. I really want to try this one day. But anyways, okay, so let's say Control A. Then I just press one button, boom, duplicated it. You feel me? So that makes everything very easy, very accessible. In the beginning of the video, I said that this wasn't all rose and positives. There's also a big con. Well, RAZER actually, the build quality isn't like too good. That's the only thing I'm not really happy with. Like, listen to this. It doesn't sound sturdy, you feel me? So if that's something that's really important to you, then I wouldn't buy RAZER, because I honestly think that all their RAZER mice will have this kind of build quality. Now, I'd rather prefer functionality over like sturdiness, so that ain't a big deal for me. I just want to say that when you're buying this RAZER Naga X mouse, you're not only buying a piece of plastic, a product, but you're also buying your time back, which is incredibly valuable. There's nothing more valuable than your time. So I really consider honestly spending the $70, because honestly, for this mouse that's full of functionality, I think that's actually pretty cheap. This is one of the greatest purchases I made in my life, that's for sure. And yeah, we're gonna close this off. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I can catch y'all in the next one. Let's get it.